Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. And by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida, home of the Florida Panthers, and site of the matchup tonight between the Flyers and the Panthers. They've split the first two games. Flyers winning up in Philadelphia. That was Craig Berube's debut as the Flyers head coach, and then the Panthers won when these teams met down here. It's part of the story here early. We had been told Roberto Luongo would start, but late news, he's out with an upper body injury. He is on the bench. There he is backing up. He's behind Dmitry Kulikov there, but Dan Ellis will man the twine, at least for now, for Florida.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan Ellis is capable of turning in a good performance, but you have to consider this a break for the Flyers. I mean, our key starting goaltenders were supposed to be Roberto Luongo and Steve Mason, but not any longer. Dan Ellis, his numbers are not good. His play has not been particularly good either, so this could be a break for the Flyers. As I said, anybody on a given night can turn in a great performance, but right now this looks good from a Philadelphia standpoint.
Off the draw, the Flyers control. As you look at the Flyer combinations at the top of your screen. Flyers in their road whites, home red uniforms for the Panthers. They're finishing their season with 5 consecutive home games. Flyers, as we showed you in the open, 4 games remaining, including tonight. 3 of them on the road. Season finale will be in Raleigh against Carolina. Here's Brian Campbell, a veteran defenseman, moving up. And he will hesitate, and that set a couple of mates in ahead of the play, so they'll have to wheel back with it now.
Scotty Upshall would have been 30 feet offside.
He went for the head fake. It worked. Dylan Olsen, 23-year-old defenseman, one of 12 players 23 years of age or younger on the roster for this Florida team. They are building for the future. They have not had a great present, at least this season, as they have fallen to second from the bottom in the Eastern Conference. Mason will melt that down as we look at Mason's numbers on the year. Win tonight, and he would match his career high for wins in one season.
And whether Craig Berube puts a lot of stock in career numbers against an opponent or not, Mason's numbers are good against this opponent. Really good. 5-1 lifetime ungodly save percentage and goals against average. Goals against average 1.48 lifetime against Florida.
Craig Berube, in general, happy with his team's performance on Sunday in the win over Buffalo. Jacob Branson's shot there is gloved by Mason. Mason will hang on to it again.
Well, what he did say was that this is a completely different team, the Florida Panthers and the Buffalo Sabres. It's a team that we're going to work very, very hard at both ends of the ice. Not like Buffalo. Buffalo a little bit loosey-goosey, but this is a team that's going to come after you, especially in their own building.
They've had problems, Coatsy, early on in games, these Panthers. They've been outscored by 40 goals. Count them, 40 in the first period. But they never give up on the game. Just ask those Dallas Stars who are in a battle for their playoff lives out in the Western Conference. They had a 2-0 lead. They scored in the first minute of the game against Peter Horacek's team. And yet the Panthers came back and won that game 3-2.
Dallas scored a goal in the first minute of the second period in that game. And it was at that point that Peter Horacek decided to call a timeout. Let his players know that he wasn't happy and that they needed to remember there were hockey games to be played. And he wants his players to care about the outcome. Lo and behold, the Panthers came back in that game against Dallas and won it.
Another Gabranson shot is snared by Mason. He'll hang on again. Horacek, by the way, the interim coach, replaced Kevin Dineen early in the season. As we look at the virtuous scratches from the lineups, Jay Rosehill back out for the Flyers. We've already told you about Zach Rinaldo's 4-game suspension. Gill and Gustafsson are your healthy scratches. And the Panthers without Kopetsky and Barkov and some other big names. And also without Luongo, a late scratch due to an upper body injury. Jesse Winchester across the Philadelphia line. Another shot from far out handled by Mason. He's seen 3 shots already, none of them really testers, but certainly getting Mason into the game are the Panthers with these long distance shots.
And Mason hasn't hurried to put the puck back in play. That's pretty smart when you're playing against a team that hustles. The Florida Panthers, the Flyers are expecting them to pressure them as they do most teams. So if you put a puck unwisely back into play instead of getting a face-off, could cost you.
There's a whole host of games going on tonight around the NHL that involve the Flyers in their playoff predicament. We'll keep you posted on those. Rangers have already tied up their game. They had fallen behind against Carolina. Phoenix and Columbus are tied at 1 as well. There's another shot from well out. And it's handled by Steve Mason. That one taken by another of the youngsters for the Panthers, Brandon Peary.
I'm wondering if they haven't figured out that Mason has a good glove hand. I think that's his 4th save so far, and we're not even 2 minutes into this hockey game. As right here, you're going to have a quick shot, and Mason, once again, that we all know has an outstanding glove.
I think part of the game plan was to shoot all pucks at Steve Mason. They forgot the part about keep him away from his catching glove.
And also about getting in front of him. He's seen all 4 shots with ease.
I wasn't going to tell them.
Well, we haven't told anybody yet except the people back in Philadelphia. And maybe some people here in South Florida watching on NHL Center Live as the Flyers control the puck here. Strite looking for Vinny Lecavalier. He was denied, and then Mark Strite just pumping it deeper in. Brian Campbell has it there. He's 3rd in the NHL in minutes per game. Almost every year he's right up at the top in that category. The puck goes all the way down here. They're going to rule it icing against Philadelphia. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds in.
So this will be the 6th face-off already in the Flyers zone. 4 because of Mason handling the puck and freezing it. And it's the 2nd icing call to go against the Flyers. And you want to kind of stabilize your game and feel your way into it. At some point, you don't want to play the whole game with face-off starting in your end.
Well, this is the Flyers' first real foray into a game where there's not that great atmosphere. Obviously, always a great atmosphere for home games for the Flyers. Most of their road games of late have come against teams that are either in the playoffs or battling to get into the playoffs. Not a ton of people at this game, not the same kind of electricity. So the Flyers have to generate that kind of enthusiasm. They have so much to play for, but the atmosphere sometimes comes into play, and they just have to block that out. You got to look at the early advantage in shots for Florida. Again, not real threatening shots thus far. Campbell shoveling that one to the board. Sean Bergenheim will get to Brad Boyes. He mishandled the puck. He goes back out to Kulikov. Takes a hit from Steve Downey. But Downey announces his presence with a hit, and now he has the puck. And he'll move it up to the red line and send it in. Back to get it is Campbell in front of Matt Reed, and he'll get to Kulikov. Dmitry Kulikov hanging on and then swinging it back around to Campbell. This is a long time pair for the Panthers. Pass ahead is intercepted by Coburn. Jammed ahead by Voracek. Looking for Couturier and got him. Couturier is then tied up. Flyers in the middle of a change here. Couturier heading over to the bench now to get Claude Giroux out. The Panthers take the puck off the glass out to the neutral zone. Flyers trying to take advantage of a Florida change, but Voracek could not hang on to that pass. Kulikov will send it to the other side of the ice. And Thomas Fleischmann has it there. He'll go across ice with it. Vincent Trocheck trying to get there 4-4, but instead it's Giroux. Giroux cut off by Ed Jovanovski, the veteran defenseman, still out there playing, and quite a story as he had serious hip surgery in the offseason. A lot of people thought he was done, but he's come back to play. And now he's the Masterton nominee for this Florida Panthers team. Fleischmann with a pass in the middle. Trocheck moves on in, gets some room, backhander save, Mason. Oh, the first tester right there for the Philadelphia goaltender, and he passes the test, although he's a little slow getting back up after some contact.
Real slow. It looks like he's okay.
Flexing his left leg is Steve Mason as the Flyers flip back for the puck here, and Nick Grossman nearly tumbled. And now the puck up the wall and out to center ice. Here's Wayne Simmons. Simmons in the left wing, then decides to swerve back with it. Looks for the late man. He had Braden Shen, but went off his skate to the corner. Sent up but not out by Drew Shore, just up from the minors for the Panthers. He does now get it to center ice in a second try. The roll across ice, and then it's sent into the Philadelphia zone by Dylan Olsen.
One thing the Flyers coaching staff knows about the Florida Panthers, they're a better opponent than the one the Flyers faced 2 days ago in the Buffalo Sabres. They play a faster game, a more up-tempo game, a more structured game.
Here's Michael Raffl with a shot, and that one whistled wide. I do not believe Ellis got a piece of that. And so the Flyers are still officially without a shot on goal as we hit the 5-minute mark of this first period. Andrew McDonald to Wayne Simmons. Trying to get it back to McDonald. Telegraph pass was intercepted. And now it's back out in the neutral zone. McGinn will roll it across the red line. McDonald is there. And he'll wind it into the Florida zone. Ellis is out to stop it, takes a peek around. Gets it to Campbell, who's checked. The Flyers will steal. Cavalier will backhand it around to the other side of the ice. Braden Shen trying to get there. There's a loose stick on the ice. And as the puck bounces around, and now moves out to center ice. Quentin Howden tried to set sail to the Flyers zone. He was interrupted. Jimmy Hayes digging for the loose puck. It bounces free. The Flyers have it. McDonald ahead. Cavalier twisting and turning back into his own zone. Looking for the return feed. Could not get it. It's swept into the zone by Adam Hall. Erik Gudbranson is back for Florida. And the Panthers will move up as the Flyers are changing. There's big Nick Bjugstad moving to center ice. Sends it in and gets it himself. Back up the wall for Boyes. And now Bjugstad holding on to the puck among the rookie scoring leaders. Steve Downey tugged his jersey there, got away with it. And the Flyers clear the zone.
Good thing that wasn't a tearaway.
There's Couturier. Inside-outside move. Around behind the net, out the other side! Oh, Ellis just gets the pad there to make the save. The Flyers' first shot is a dandy, but Ellis says no.
Well, take a look at our goaltenders. Dan Ellis on the left and Steve Mason on the right. We're scoreless here so far. As Steve Mason, little question on how he is after this. You see Braden Shen come back. He loses an edge and takes him out. Mason, that is.
Ooh. That boy, that left leg, huh? Looked like it was bent under Steve Mason. Seems fine now.
That's never good. Knee is not meant to do that. And he did flex it for a while, but he stayed in the game and seems fine. Fake forward check. Back around behind to Nick Grossman. And now ahead. Long cross-ice pass from Hartnell. He's got forward check. Quickly. He's taken off the puck by Campbell. Giroux tries to help Jake out in the corner. The puck moves ahead, though, and Fleischmann looking for Trocheck. That found Kulikov ahead. Upshaw drops it back, but Fleischmann could not hang on.
This might be a battle of support. You saw the Panthers get out of their zone. They outnumber the Flyers in the corner. 3 Panthers, 2 Flyers. The Panthers play a smothering pressure game, so the Flyers know they're going to have to support and make little plays, little chip passes, 6 foot, 8 feet, 10 feet. You can't make them unless you got somebody there to make them too.
And usually the simple game works best against that kind of approach. Flyers, Timo teamed in with a long outlet to Simmons and back to Braden Coburn. And across now in the middle with some room. Raffl moving on up, but he tried to beat 2 men and could not. Jonathan Huberdeau ended up with the puck. Huberdeau back after missing some time with a concussion. Called the trophy winner last year. Sent all the way down into the Philadelphia zone. Mason will rifle it up the board, just knocked down. Panthers with a steal, centered in front. Loose puck. Huberdeau is there, but Tiemann had him wrapped up. Now they center for Drew Short. Tips back. And here's Jovanovski with a shot that's blocked off by Simmons, and he'll flick it out to the neutral zone. A waste there. Raffl and Gudbranson. Gudbranson won that race. He got it to Huberdeau. And they'll move it in. McDonald knocks it down and plays it to Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn with 10 hits the other night against Buffalo. But he ices the puck right here.
Well, the last home game for the Flyers just happens to also be the last game of the regular season for the Flyers. And it is Sunday at 3 p.m. Carolina Hurricanes will be in town, and tickets are still available. You can lock yours in right now. If you haven't seen a Flyers game lately, come and get a taste of it, and you'll want to get in line for playoff tickets right away. And we're assuming the Flyers are going to make it, and I'll be shocked if they don't.
Well, Flyers would certainly like for us to be able to say that with absolute certainty after tonight.
No doubt.
They get a win here.
Well, the thing is,
wrapped it up. They say it's offside. Le Cavalier thought he was on his way in, but the whistle stopped him.
Adam Hall just chipped this one up in the air. Whoa, that was so close.
I think it was good.
Well, that was Dylan Olsen backing up, and Vinny Lecavalier smartly tied up his stick momentarily so Olsen couldn't play it.
Yeah, Vinny Lecavalier at 19 goals. Would have had a breakaway with a chance to become the 7th Flyer with 20 goals this year. He almost had another breakaway there, but the Panthers broke up the pass, and now offside is called again at the Florida line.
How many times have we seen this year where Lecavalier gets in between the 2 defenders, and then all of a sudden it just seems like he's like a young man again, because he's got a quick step to get to the goaltender, and he scored on numerous occasions in doing it.
Yeah, Vinny really looks like he has come alive, getting ready to play in the playoffs. And the thing about the Flyers and their playoff plans, the month of March was so good, they've kept themselves in a position to control their own destiny. They don't have to sit around and hope that anybody loses. They just got to get themselves in, and they can do it tonight.
And there's so many other things they can accomplish with a strong finish. There's a shot by Goodbranson right into the red basket of Mason. And he makes the save. And again, some contact after the whistle. Get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app right now. Go to it right now. You can do that. Get all the updates. Vinny Lecavalier is perhaps the only person in the building from a Flyers standpoint that might be a little disappointed Luongo is not starting. He has 14 career goals in 26 games against Roberto Luongo.
They were division rivals. And Vinny was in Tampa in the first go-around for Luongo here in Florida.
Obviously had quite a bit of success against it. Coburn knocks his man down. Panthers stay after the puck. Stepping in front for the backhander is Bergenheim. Mason the save, and he's able to corral the rebound.
Boy, that quick pass from behind Steve Mason, from his left, all of a sudden to Bergenheim. And Bergenheim's going to try to very quickly come from below the goal line. Watch as you'll see this pass right here. Bang, now here Bergenheim's going to make the quick turn and then nearly fools Mason, but Billy, it appeared that Mason had already been there.
Yeah, I love the reaction of Steve Mason on this one. He tracked the puck all the way, and he seemed to already have a sense that Bergenheim was there. And Steve Mason's been sharp.
The Flyers have now been outshot 8-1, and some of these shots from the Panthers are starting to look a little more dangerous. After the first 4 were easy. There's Fleischmann trying to twist that pass through. Flyers intercept, move it up. Drew banks it, but did not get the puck deep. And now it's back to the Philadelphia line. Grossman holding on. Finds Voracek. He tips it, but again, the Panthers will come up with the puck. The Flyers not getting the puck deep and getting the forecheck game going.
It's their only chance to generate offense right now the way Florida's playing. On that last rush, Claude Giroux had not 1, 2, 3, but 4 Panthers right around him at the blue line.
There is the captain. From the red line, he'll hoist it in. He's getting this one deep so he can get off on a change. Flyers in the middle of a line change. Campbell will move it ahead to Huberdeau. Cross ice. Winchester, nice move around Raffle, and then the wrist shot off the stick of Mason. Winchester will send it back. Takes a strange hop right out in front of the net. And bounces to Luke Shetters. Passes on the money. Raffle busting up the middle. Raffle grabbed by Goodbranson. Still got a shot off, and a save made by Ellis. Not sure how there wasn't a holding penalty there. But Raffle still got a shot off. He has surprising strength. He's sure. Got that ahead. Simmons did not get enough on that dump in though, and the Panthers will knock it down and fling in on Mason as Huberdeau. That one is a bit of a communication breakdown there between Mason and Luke Schenn. Flyers live to tell about it and move up ice. Time again back in the lineup. Wayne Simmons, and he'll set it in. Ellis, move it aside. Set ahead and into the Philadelphia zone by Quentin Howden. Nick Grossman is back to get it. Some nice maneuvering by Grossman. Starts the Flyers back with Cavalier. Cross-ice passes behind him again. He does swing it deep in to the Florida zone. Ellis, right to the corner. Adam Hall waiting for it. Send it right back through, but nobody home. Grossman comes in. He'll jam that puck back deep, but it'll skip all the way around to the other side of the ice. Howden's on it there. Takes a heavy hit from McGinn as he plays the puck to Olsen, and now ahead go the Panthers.
A little bit of pressure by the Flyers because of the dump in by Ty McGinn.
Yeah, really. I mean, seemed like a simple play, and it led to some time in the offensive zone, which the Flyers haven't had a ton of here through the first 11 minutes plus. 9-3 the shots in favor of Florida. Here's Bergenheim unable to hang on at the Philadelphia line. Coburn across to Grossman and ahead. Downey has it. They'll send one into the left of Ellis. Trying to get to it is Couturier. Back out for Coburn. A little wrist shot. Save made Ellis. Now Downey to the rebound. Muscles his way away from Kulikov. Gets it back out to Timonen. Timonen will send it diagonally in. Chasing it down is Reed. Reed right back around. Timonen in from the point. Tips it into the corner. Couturier lifted his stick so Reed could go after it. But Campbell with good work. With his skate moved it to a teammate. And the Panthers move up. And here's Bjugstad. Rumbling through center. His shot is blocked off by Timonen. Kimmo Timonen, with his usual cool, moves the puck ahead to Steve Downing.
No need to rush.
He sent it in from his side of the red line, and they say the Panthers had the edge in the race for that puck, and so it is icing. I think Matt Reed would beg to differ. But it does give us a chance to tell you our Dodge trivia question for tonight's game. Who holds the Panthers franchise record for the most points in a season? Is it Pavel Bure, Olli Jokinen, or Ray Whitney? I'll give you the answer later on. The draw to the right of Mason, and they'll do it over again.
Scotty Upshall currently leads the Florida Panthers with a mere 36 points. He is the lowest team leader in the NHL right now and is flirting with breaking a record of the lowest all-time team leader.
Yeah, I don't think it's a record he nor the Panthers particularly.
That's not a real good number. And you know, numbers basically talk. When you take a team like the Florida Panthers who have struggled, usually the numbers tell you that, well, they've gone through a lot of people and they don't have a lot of guys that have played 79 games. That is only Mr. Campbell back on the blue line. Has played every game this year for the Florida Panthers.
A shot by Giroux, denied by Ellis. Trocheck will send it up, but not out. There's McDonald. Couldn't get it past Upshaw. And Scott Upshaw will move it across to Fleischman, and he'll dish in. Trocheck after it. They're very impressed with Vinny Trocheck. Centering pass there for Campbell, but his shot is blocked off. Flyers will clear, but Trocheck had a chance to keep it in. It slid off of him to the neutral zone, and then he just plays it in.
He won't be playing shortstop in the Panthers' slow pitch team.
No, Marlins have no need for him. There's Luke Shed. We come your way from Sunrise, Florida. That's us along with our great crew. Flyers and Panthers here on Comcast Sportsnet. No score. Just under 7 minutes remaining first period. Huberdeau in. The shot is blocked. He gets it back. That one caught McDonald up high. Mason makes the save on the second try. McDonald's in some pain.
Well, it doesn't appear like he's cut. We'll have more right after this.
Quinn University game notes. And, well, it's all about the playoff push right now. We'll go over the remaining schedules and news involving a general manager who was relieved of his duties. There it is for the four of the teams in the Eastern Conference race. That's what's left. Rangers right now. Carolina involved in a game. Columbus and Phoenix. It's 2-1 Phoenix in that one. The Rangers are tied with Carolina. Mike Gillis relieved today. It's been a slippery slope for the Canucks since they went to the Cup Finals.
Boy, that window of appreciation closes quickly. 2011, the GM of the year.
Jovanovski will send that puck around. And you look at the playoff push. Jovanovski's shot here is cut off by Adam Hall. The Flyers, you really want to avoid the Boston Bruins in the first round. Everybody talks about that as Simmons tried to center that to Schenn, but it was cut off. And Grossman's shot here goes high and wide. And to do that, you want to finish at least in third in your division. Now Wayne Simmons goes down in a heap in the neutral zone. There will be a penalty on this. Huberdeau also slow getting up after he fell down, but Simmons got hit high and hard, and he is in discomfort. When we went to break, Andrew McDonald was in some pain. If there's another objective for the Flyers, it is to avoid injuries.
McDonald was hit by a puck. Simmons wasn't hit by a puck.
Oof, double teamed.
Kind of sandwiched from behind and then from the front. Jesse Winchester got him from behind when he turned. But during our last TV timeout, this is what happened. I looked at the Flyers bench. I thought they'd called a timeout. That was not the case, but Craig Berube used the TV timeout to very animatedly address his team. Part of the thing that he's got to be saying is you got Dan Ellis who's in goal. Roberto Luongo was supposed to start. Ellis is not having a good year. We haven't even tested him yet.
Well, they should test him here. They go to the power play with Drew Shore off for 4 minutes for high sticking, and the special teams is an area the Flyers clearly want to take advantage of here tonight. The Panthers are dead last in the NHL in both power play and penalty kill, and the Flyers, of course, are in the top 10 in both, and they're especially effective on the road in both.
Best
Flyers,
road power play. That's
25.2%. So this is an area they want to exploit, and perhaps this power play here and the penalty by Shore can be the momentum changer the Flyers needed. Here's Timonen. Dealing to Giroux. Giroux holding on now. Voracek moves to the high slot. Timonen takes the pass. He gives to Voracek, who's drifted back to the wing. Now it's Timonen again. Voracek for the shot, couldn't get it through. It was blocked by the defenseman who was out high, Colby Roback, and cleared.
As soon as you drop your head to take that slap shot, the advantage goes to the guy blocking because you got to have your head down and you're not looking where you're shooting.
You know, Timonen will slingshot the pass back to Giroux. Little deal on the right wing for Voracek, who spins it back out Timonen. Now it's Giroux. Fourth in the league in power play points. Side of the net, Simmons. Simmons in front. Voracek. He couldn't get the shot through again. He got very little on it. And Timonen couldn't keep it into the point. And now it's a race for the puck. Winchester and Timonen. Winchester will win the race. Timonen angles him off. And the shot is blocked. Second try jams across ice. And Voracek will track it down. Already a minute into the power play time. And the Flyers will change personnel. Straight ahead. Deal it to LeCavalier, and now back out to Strike. He'll wide, he'll fire. That one blocked up high. Bounces right in the slot. Couturier knocked down. They battle for the loose puck. Kulikov and Shen. It bounces ahead. Boy's trying to clear. He could not, but then he got some help from Kulikov, who sends it the length of the ice. .230 remaining on the power play time. Strike got in across the line. Dishes to the left side, hoping for Couturier. He and Gabranson battle. And now, Aiden Shen around for LeCavalier. Back out, McDonald. And now it's LeCavalier holding on to the puck. Settling in the slot, redirection try, save Ellis. As Couturier got his stick on that. Now LeCavalier holding again. Side of the net, Shen tries to maneuver in front. He got one shot off save, and then it is Ellis covering, and then Couturier and Gabranson in a war in front. Shen joins in as he grabs Jovanovski. Couturier and Gabranson, though, the main event.
Sean Couturier playing with a little bit of a snarl. He pushed people away from Steve Mason when Florida was invading Mason's crease earlier in the game. Like Gabranson was making nice there when they split up. But this second power play unit is showing a greater urgency, sense of urgency to get pucks. Oh gosh, that hit Braden Shen.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of crashing the net too. Dan Ellis was just holding on here. Watch, he's looking for the puck just like everybody else is. But look at the fight, both in Couturier, Shen, everybody's in there trying to get that puck, finding that puck. And you can see it right to the left where Ellis finally grabbed on.
Ed Jovanovski. Looking like the young Ed Jovanovski there with haymakers to the head of Braden Shen. He was clearing that porch no matter the cost. He did not get called, so it was a good play. Here's Voracek, the Timonen, cross ice, Giroux. First unit back out, Giroux, maneuvering to the slot, but then getting checked. And a penalty. He was hooked. And so the Flyers will get some two-man advantage time. 1:40 still remaining on the Shore penalty time. And now, Panthers will see Upshaw go to the penalty box. Huge chance here for the Flyers.
Upshaw didn't like this call. Usually you get away with something like this, but right there, see right at the end, oh yeah, he had the stick right around Giroux, but he had one and then two shots at him, where finally the referee had to make the call.
Yeah, if Scotty Upshaw expected that not to be called because his team was down a man, he was just mistaken because that's a call. But now the Flyers have to show that sense of urgency I was talking about. All season long on 5-on-3s or on extended power plays, they seem to have a tendency to take their time.
Yeah, losing that draw wasted a lot of time off the power play. Down to 1:20 remaining now on the two-man advantage. LeCavalier gets it back to Timonen. And now it's Giroux. To Timonen, they play catch. Hartnell in the slot. Back to Timonen, he'll take the shot. It's blocked. Bounces LeCavalier fans on the bouncing bucks. They'll move it to Simmons. Hit the net with his pass attempt there. Kulikov a chance to clear. Timonen plays it out in center ice. He drifted back on it. And now the Flyers have to start from the neutral zone. Hartnell in, goes across ice to Simmons. Simmons down low, Giroux lost control, and then Ellis knocked it down. Panthers clear it out of play and down. No, it's in play and down the ice. Flyers thought it might have gone out of play, but it hit high off the glass and stayed in play.
Did it not look like Claude Giroux just had to deflect the puck into the net?
Sure seemed like there was a lot of space between Ellis, who was at the top of the crease, and the pipe.
Giroux back to Timonen. 25 seconds remaining. That shot denied by Ellis as LeCavalier couldn't get it through. Couldn't get it to the goalie at least. Here's Steven in. LeCavalier again. One-timer. Save Ellis. And he covers before Simmons could get to it.
Wow, 17 seconds left in the 5-on-3. That's a good play. Vinny LeCavalier's got one of the best one-timers in the NHL still. And if Claude Giroux, Kimmo Timonen, or Vinny LeCavalier, there's the play right there. Ellis was already out of the paint.
You figure he was just going to be able to come the other way, but he got caught. See, if he'd gone to his right instead of his left, he actually went right back into the pads of Ellis. He went to the right, like you mentioned, Billy, got a whole net.
Panthers get control and clear, and that will take care of just about all that's left of the two-man advantage. 5 seconds remaining in the Shore penalty as Streit starts up. Streit to the line. Maneuvers on in. Streit the shot. Save Ellis. Rebound. Streit denied at the side of the cage. It's now 5-on-4. Here's Voracek. Voracek toward the slot. Back out. Braden Shenna's shot. That's blocked. Kulikov to it. Kulikov turns it over as right there is Streit. Streit checked. And Kulikov will move it ahead. And here's Shore. And back to full strength. The Panthers is up. Shaw jumps out of the box. And now the Panthers look to go to the attack. Here's Shore. Try to get that to the point. It's intercepted by Voracek, and he'll move it to the neutral zone. Off by Shore, and he gets to Brad Boyes. Boyes tried to maneuver around McDonald, could not. Braden Coburn reaching for it. The Reed. And a bouncing puck does make its way to the neutral zone. And carrying on with it is Braden Shen, but he's overtaken before he could get to the Florida line. 1:18 remaining in this first period, still scoreless. With the help of that two-man advantage, the Flyers have caught and passed the Panthers in shots. But still no score where it counts. Here's Downing. Standing on his dump in. And Al Fleischmann tried to move back the other way. Flyers hustle back to get in his way as Waffle disrupted it. Into the final minute of his first period. Here's Dmitry Kulikov. Talented defenseman. With lots of ice room here. But his pass is tipped back the other way. And Campbell has to rotate over and get it. Ryan Campbell looking to rev it up. And from the red line, he'll wind it into the Philadelphia zone. Nice knockdown by Mason. He'll play it off the glass. Huberdeau knocked it down, but the Flyers jab it out to the neutral zone. Bouncing puck there. Hartnell scrambling. Huberdeau is in there. It finds Campbell. And he'll get to Jovanovski. Jovanovski caught up in some traffic right there at the line. Now Voracek. And with the help of Hartnell, they get the puck deep into the Florida zone. But there's Campbell. Ahead for Huberdeau. 17 seconds remaining. Huberdeau off of Winchester's stick. McDonald back to play. They'll move it ahead. Flyers time for one more rush perhaps, but they're checked. They lose control. Gudbranson has it. He'll just drift back into his own zone, and the first period comes to an end. For the Panthers, we'll probably consider that a victory. No score through one period of play between Philadelphia and Florida. Tonight's Flyers-Panthers first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. By Powerback Rehabilitation. Need rehabilitation after a hospital stay before returning home? Powerback Rehabilitation gives patients their power back by getting them home sooner. And by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts. John Bourque and Al Morganti with their analysis of a scoreless first period in South Florida after these messages. Tonight's second period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. Also brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Some feistiness in that first period. There were no goals, but here are the other stats courtesy of Sugar House Casino.
Oh, what could have been for the Flyers. They managed 12 shots, but they also had 4 minutes and 20 seconds of power play time. And the big numbers at the bottom work against Philadelphia. 0 for 3 on their power play, including 1 minute and 40 seconds of 5-on-3, so we'll see if adjustments were made between periods and they can come out here and match Florida's energy.
GMC NHL update. Brad Richards tying the score between the Rangers and Hurricanes right there at 1. And then Benoit Pouliot gets this nice feed. Zuccarello and the Rangers took the lead 2-1. Richards has scored on the power play. Again, it's 3-1 New York now. Meantime, Phoenix and Columbus, the Coyotes, getting a goal right there from Shane Doan, their captain, which put them on top. But Mark Letestu, the former Penguin, retaliates for the Blue Jackets, and that game is tied at 2. So 2-2, Coyotes and Blue Jackets, both of those teams desperate for a win in that game. Phoenix on the outside looking in out west, but with a couple wins and a Dallas faux pas or two, they'll be in the playoffs. So that's a huge game for them. And of course, Columbus just 2 points behind the Flyers. The Flyers just 2 points behind the Rangers. The Flyers can ill afford to lose this game here tonight if they want to finish second in the Metropolitan Division. The Rangers have played one fewer game than the Flyers, but they, in all likelihood, wind up with the tiebreaker on the Flyers. So that means the Flyers would have to finish ahead of them in points, and that means they're going to have to make up some ground, maybe even get some help. So we get the second period started. Jake Voracek moves the puck behind the net, bounces side of the cage, and Ellis had to pin that as Voracek ended up jamming away, and Ellis was able to get the job done. Again, looking at those standings, you can see how congested it is. The top two teams, Boston and Pittsburgh, are set as far as 1 and 2. Boston 1, Pittsburgh 2 in terms of the seeding. But after that, it gets murky, especially in the Metropolitan Division. The Flyers' magic number to clinch at least third place over Columbus is 6.
But the mission is A, make the playoffs. Right. Number 2, if at all possible, as everybody's goal is that makes the playoffs in the East, miss the Boston Bruins
in the first round,
and then go and play. After that, just go and play.
Puck into the Philadelphia zone. Don Couturier tried to go cross ice. It deflected, went back around behind the net. Here's Trocheck trying to gather that puck. He still has it, and then finally is taken off the disc. And Grossman will backhand to the neutral zone. The first period did not include any goal scoring. It did include a 5-on-3 for the Flyers. Play called there in a delayed offside. And it also included a tongue lashing from Craig Berube to his club during one of the television timeouts, as he was not happy, we assume, with the energy level and the execution of his club.
Not making smart plays. The few times the Flyers did get pucks in deep, and it was guys like Ty McGinn and Steve Downey that were doing it, they were able to generate some pressure and some sustained forecheck. But other than that, cute and fancy looked ugly in the first period.
Not a lot of containment either. In other words, having control of the puck in the offensive zone and getting good opportunities. You got to do a better job of getting on the score to defense.
And Luke Schenn and the puck to Andrew McDonald. He took a puck up high in that first period, but doesn't seem worse for wear. Raffle after the puck. Tried to get it deep, couldn't get it past Kulikov. Huberdeau will dump it back to Campbell. Ryan Campbell, head off the stick of Drew Shore. Knocked that one out of midair and now has it. Shore tucking it down low in the Philadelphia zone. We'll see Winchester after it. Shields the puck. Takes a big hit from Luke Schenn. And now Luke Schenn gets the puck. Schenn with those 10 hits the other night. He's adding some more here tonight. He's third among all defensemen in hits each of the last 3 seasons. He's been number 1 in that category. Putting a strong rush on here toward the end to be number 1 again, but he probably has too far to go to catch Cody Franzen, who's number 1 on that list. There's a turnover by Roback. Hall is steal, the shot, the save, the rebound. LeCavalier, they score! Vinny LeCavalier pouncing on the rebound, and if it's his goal, it's now 7 Flyers with 20 goals on this season. As they score for a case of tasty cake, it's 1-0 Flyers.
Looked like Vinny turned around to confirm whether or not it was his goal because Adam Hall was in front. But a good forecheck by Adam Hall made all of this happen. Yeah, I don't think anybody touched it.
Right there, you're going to see LeCavalier come in late, and Dan Ellis has no idea where that puck is, and it just goes right through the 5-0 and dribbles across. But it doesn't matter. It's still 20 goals and still gives the Flyers a 1-0 lead.
Matthews come right back off the draw. Here's Quentin Howden coming around to the other side of the ice.
Good for Vinny.
Well, he's finishing the season strong. He's had a lot of challenges, some of them injury-related this year. some of them position-related as he was forced to play the wing and something he had not done in his career. And now he's back in the middle, and he's given the Flyers an offensive presence on that fourth line.
It's a perfect spot for him.
And now offside call. They've officially said it is Lecavalier's goal from Adam Hall. And so the Flyers have 7 20-goal scorers for the first time in almost a quarter century.
Now, Vinny Lecavalier would rather be a fourth-line center than a second-line left wing. And it shows. That's now 5 goals in the last 7 games for Vinny. To hit the 20-goal mark, he has never failed to score 20 or more in full NHL seasons, the partial seasons because of lockouts don't count, except for his first year in the NHL.
That's the 13th time. Over 400 goals, of course, in his career. He recently hit that 400 milestone. See if it gives his team a jump here as they have the lead. There's Bukestad for Florida. Du Bois across ice. That's tipped. And now Giroux loves it, knocks it down, stops and gives to Hartnell. Scott Hartnell back to Giroux and across the line. Look up it deep. A simple play there from the captain to Hartnell. Now Giroux tried to spin it back up the wall, but there was nobody home. The Flyers were changing their defense. So McDonald goes back to get it. Now Andrew McDonald surveying as he moves up. Pass to Luke Schenn. He turns it over. Here's Scotty Upshall. Upshall holding on. The pass. Trocheck the shot. The backhander went wide. All the way out to Kulikov. Jams it around behind the net. Trocheck is there again. Trocheck, he put up all kinds of spectacular numbers in the OHL last year. To Upshall. Now Kulikov across. Campbell. The Trocheck turns and fires. Save Mason. And now Fleischmann to it, but his pass cut off by Luke Schenn, who had it go off. Upshall sticky steals again. The shot save Mason. Rebound. Mason got the penalty again. He stopped Fleischmann from in close. And then Upshall could not jam it home. Steve Mason, huge there for the Flyers, icing the call. But they are on top because of that guy.
Unbelievable save by Steve Mason. And it had to be because the Flyers were dishing up comfort food, freebies, and turnovers. Watch this with the left pad. Check it out.
Might have been the skate.
And then he squeezed it off underneath so that somehow Scotty Upshall couldn't free it up to poke it in.
This is technical. Look at that. Pipe to pipe. Throw those pads. That's what they always try to take away the bottom of the net. And what a great play.
That's technical coaching, and for most of us, that's painful.
Painful, athletic, whatever you want to call it.
Steve Mason, it's not painful. He's a good athlete. Here's Drew Shore.
That's painful for you?
Yes. I haven't tried it in a while, Bill. I don't know about you. But here, I'll leave that to Steve Mason. Here's Matt Reed after a loose puck. Able to poke it ahead, trying to move that into the slot area, but it's cut off. Kulikov up the wall. And now it is Streit playing it at the red line. Mark Streit ahead. Simmons backhands, but again could not get enough on that to get it deep into the Florida zone. It's cross ice. Dylan Olsen ahead, and now off the stick of Jimmy Hayes, the former Blackhawk, deep to Philadelphia ice. Streit has it there. To Wayne Simmons. That pass off the mark. It ends up going off the skate of Grossman. Move back ahead, and now here's Peary. And he'll fling into the Philadelphia zone. The angle shot from Howden to save Mason. And since the Flyers have scored, the response has been registered by the Panthers.
Well, let's take a look at our Geico quote on the playoff race from Brayden Schenn, who got his 20th the other night. I'm not much of a scoreboard watcher. Maybe some guys in this room are. But I think we just have to worry about ourselves and worry about the 2 points each night. I like that philosophy. Don't worry about what everybody else does. Go out and win the hockey game and control your own destiny.
Pretty well has to be that way, doesn't it? If you start thinking and worrying about things over which you have no control, you're going to sap your own power pretty quickly.
Time again, finding Lecavalier, who sends it in front. Schenn tipped it and dribbled just wide. That was Adam Hall, not Schenn. And Hall actually didn't get all that and almost worked out for him. Curious shot the other way. Mason the save, and he covers up. So Adam Hall, who got the assist on Lecavalier's goal, nearly had himself a tally there. And there's a look at the balanced Flyers attack. Always a good thing, Bill Clement, when you're heading into the playoffs, to have a lot of weapons. The only team in the NHL with 7 20-goal scores. The only team with 6. And you flash back to the last time it happened, 1989-90. Rick Tocchet led the way with 37. Look at some of those names. Mike Bullard, Coatsy, one of your favorites. Tim Kerr had some injury issues, but still scored 25. Kelly Eklund, yeah. I mean, gives you an idea how long ago it was. There's a shot by Bjugstad. Save made Mason. Coatsy, yeah, I guess hard to believe, but 89-90 is almost a quarter century ago.
Thanks very much. Thank you. In other words, you're saying that I was there to watch that. Yes,
well,
I was.
A lot of us were.
And
actually,
every one of those guys were outstanding hockey players, and it was just a great memory. But when you take a look at this team and the number of guys that scored 20, it's also a point that you got a 20-goal score on every one of your lines. That's pretty impressive. You could throw that out during a hockey game.
Well, you know, when you think back, 89-90, the trap hadn't really come into vogue completely yet. The 80s were obviously a much more offensive era. To do it now, where we're not in the trap era anymore, Bill, but it's a much more defensive era.
No question.
It's a very impressive feat.
No
really.
question. It's a pressure era we're going through. It's tougher to trap because there's no red line and you can stretch pass. But still, teams are great defensively in the neutral zone. I think it's a far greater achievement now than it was during that era. And it's happened over in the last couple of weeks.
Plus the
three of the guys have just closed the gap in the last couple of weeks.
Right. And plus the goaltenders are dressed like Knights of the Round Table.
I'm not old enough to remember them.
Yeah, they've worn masks for a while.
Have they?
Here's Grossman across to Mark Streit. Streit around Fleischmann. Takes a look. Centers it in front. Couturier. They'd love to get Sean Couturier a goal here, but he was denied in tight. Couturier has gone without a goal in 17 straight. He's even trimmed his beard. Said I had to change the luck. He said he was going to grow that beard out until the Flyers were eliminated or won the Stanley Cup, but he said, hey, I've gone too long without a goal here. Giroux moving up the shot. He scores! There's another guy the Flyers are happy to see on the board. The captain, as he beats Ellis to make it 2-0. Giroux ending a 5-game goalless drought as he scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Boy, we saw this movie about 3 weeks ago against the Chicago Blackhawks. Speed at the blue line, get the D-man backing in, use him as a screen if you can, free up the shot, and rip it home.
Look where Eddie Jovanovski ends up. He's nearly below the hash mark. You don't do that on Claude Giroux. He's going to kill you. And he certainly did right there. He waited for Jovanovski to get there. As Billy said, then let the quick wrist shot go to beat Ellis.
The first goal for the Flyers top line in the last 6 games. That is huge. There's no question. You just have to watch. They've been pressing, perhaps trying to do a little too much. You get that goal. We all saw how much the first goal this season meant for Claude Giroux.
So Claude Giroux has given the Flyers a 2-0 lead. He had room, he had time, enough space to get the shot off. But here's what happened. Here's Claude Giroux going to score, but Jake Voracek plays a role in this. He came off the bench, and Eddie Jovanovski backed up, fearing that Voracek would get in behind him. That didn't happen, but it gave Giroux a gap to hit the line with full speed, and with Jovanovski backed off the line in fear of Voracek being behind him, Giroux was able to get close enough to let her rip.
Just what Jake Voracek was telling Claude Giroux right there. Those exact words. Couldn't you see that? So the Flyers with a 2-goal lead. That puck hit the referee. Huberdeau centers. Shore was there. His shot deflected. No one knew where it was as it went high in the air. Downey will backhand it around to the other side of the ice. The Flyers get the puck. Couturier will send it across ice. Panthers trail 2-0. I got to say, though, they have really come at the Flyers hard here in the second period. Here's Shore, a shot snared by Mason. Mason has been very good here in the second period.
Well, this will give us a chance to remind Flyers season ticket holders the deadline to renew for next season. It's this Friday, April the 11th. You can retain your seats and take advantage of the best benefits available next season, and all you have to do is call now. Great benefits available.
Flyer fans here in South Florida, and in fact, might be more Flyer fans than there are Panther fans in this game. When the Flyers scored, it sounded more like the home team scoring.
No doubt. But here's the problem for the Florida Panthers, and I agree with you. When the Flyers made it 1-0, they pushed back hard and had 3 or 4 scoring chances. But their coach, Peter Horacek, has said publicly, we can't give up more than 2 goals. Meaning the Florida Panthers, on most nights, are incapable of scoring 3 goals. Well, that's what they have to score now. The Flyers have them in a corner, and they have to keep pressing.
Yep, second to those Sabres, and Fewest goals per game, 2.28 for these Panthers. Jimmy Hayes backhanding to the line now. Coburn kept it in, but Gudbranson is there. He misfires on that pass for Howden, and so it's icing as Coburn gets the edge, going back for the puck. Giroux from Grossman and Luke Shen at 6:29, giving the Flyers the 2-goal advantage.
One thing about the Florida Panthers, we talked about the lack of scoring. Very tough to be able to stay in hockey games when you don't have the big guy. That big guy that you look to come up with a big goal when you need it. This is a hockey club just doesn't have that.
Well, they're hoping that Jonathan Huberdeau could be that guy, Coatsy, or Alexander Barkov, who was the #1 pick this year, #2 overall, but is injured and not coming back this season. They do have some young pieces they're putting in place, but certainly no go-to guy that has matured into a star as yet.
Especially up front. It's on D when Eddie Jovanovski and Brian Campbell are gone from here that they're really going to have to do some work in their blue line.
Lecavalier centering. Again, a chop at that puck, but it finds Campbell. Campbell a head-off Hayes skate into the Philadelphia zone. Mason will set it up for Andrew McDonald, and McDonald will move it quickly. Luke Shen, that one went through Adam Holland all the way down. Oh, they wave it off, saying McGinn could have beaten Kulikov to the puck.
It's a good call, and a hard call to make.
Very hard. Hybrid icing's major challenge for the linesman. Fleischmann to Upshaw, pass into the slot. Kulikov had it tipped away. McDonald plays it to the corner. Giroux back to Grossman. Grossman will flip that one up. It goes out of play, hitting something on the bench.
Well, the Frozen Four begins this Thursday. It's upon us. Union is going to take on Boston College at 5 o'clock, and that is followed by Minnesota and North Dakota at 8:30. The winners from these games are going to play in the national championship on Saturday night. The good news is tickets still remain. And to all the people that will come to cheer on those four schools and the players and the coaching staffs, congratulations. We hope you love our town.
It should be a great event tomorrow, and then, or I should say Thursday, and then on Saturday. Here's right in. Centering it, the shot, they score! You get one, you get another. Claude Giroux with a one-time rifle. Beating Ellis, it's 3-0 Philadelphia. Just like that, the captain has two. He scores again for a case of Tasty King.
Sometimes it's better to get to the party a little late. Let everybody kind of start ahead of you. Dead center of your screen. Tap, tap, the little beaver tail for Claude Giroux.
And watch the Florida Panthers. Nobody is paying attention to Giroux. That is the key. As all of a sudden, now watch the pass that Mark Straight's going to make. He's going to be able to get down low, come with the backhand, and that allows Giroux the opportunity to just absolutely wing that one-timer.
Well, Mark Streit is putting on one heck of a passing clinic in the last week or so.
Well, he had those 3 assists against Buffalo. And he's got another one here tonight. So Claude Giroux tallies twice in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. 3-0 Flyers. Here's Brad Boyes flipping it ahead. Puck was tipped away. Reed able to get to it. Maneuvers on one, but not around Dylan Olsen, who sealed him off. Reed goes and gets the puck, though. Back to Timonen. He'll wind, he'll fire, and it went past the deflection try of Downey to the glass. Sounded like Downey might have gotten a piece of it, but not enough to change the direction very much. Coburn keeps that in, sends it back in on Ellis, and he'll set it up. We approach the midpoint of the second period. Flyers have scored 3 times here in the second. We'll open up this 3-0 lead. Nice move by Huberdeau. Huberdeau centers, blocked away and then swatted away by Mason. And it's to Braden Shen, whose pass finds Simmons charging up the middle. Swings to the right wing. Takes the shot, save Ellis, and the rebound out to Huberdeau. And now back the other way, Drew Shore picking up speed. Shore to the Philadelphia line. Dishes off to Winchester. Winchester tried to center it. It's blocked. Back to him. To the point, Kulikov. Kulikov wrist shot blocked by Raffle. It's in his equipment. Now it drops. And the puck ahead to Braden Shen. Braden Shen just finessing the puck into the forward zone. Raffle tried to go across ice. That's intercepted Huberdeau. Flyers get back to knock it away from him. And now they reorganize as they change players. McDonald off the stick of Lecavalier into the Florida zone. Time again racing after it. Jabs it to keep it alive, and Adam Hall was after it, but it's short instead out through center ice. Mark Streit is back. Pass to a covered LeCavalier. Streit gets it back and sizes things up. Here's Adam Hall. Right wing dish, LeCavalier. LeCavalier trying to get it back in front. Broken up. All of a sudden, there's a little more ice room out there. Perhaps too much for the Flyers' liking as the Panthers break back. Here's Howden holding on. The shot! Shoulder save made by Mason, and he'll hang on. It's been a Flyers explosion here in the second. 3 goals. LeCavalier got it started, and then the captain took over with a pair.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are rough,
are intense, are violent,
but great.
April the 16th, and if the Flyers can hang on to the lead here tonight, they will ensure they will be part of those playoffs. Gotta love Nick Grossman in those promos. They are great.
He could be the baritone on anybody's choir. I'm
There's
telling
no
you right
doubt
now.
about it.
He is a walking masterpiece in understatement.
And who would argue with him, right? He's a big man, although he's really a gentle giant off the ice. One of the nicer guys you're going to want to meet. Play stops, so we'll tell you about the Hobey Baker Award. Of course, it's given annually to college hockey's top player. Find out just who Hobey Baker was, and then meet the local athlete who's favored to win the award this year. Don't miss Fire on Ice, presented by GMC, tonight at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. That local athlete you can see in Philadelphia this week. Perform. And as that puck bounces free, Giroux, a shot, and that one in the glove of Dan Ellis, and he'll hang on. Oh, Giroux, why not? Keep firing.
Well, for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's already got 2, but number 2, now that the Flyers have tested Dan Ellis, they're finding out they can get pucks by him. Good forecheck by Jake Voracek and Scott Hartnell. They both squeezed Kulikov.
I wasn't even quite sure that Ellis knew he had that puck at first. He had to double clutch and say, oh yeah, it's in the glove.
We should mention the guy you're talking about is Johnny Gaudreau, who's from Carneys Point, New Jersey originally. Now with Boston College, one of the Final Four that Billy had already talked about.
There's a shot by Couturier that goes wide. Johnny Gaudreau, Calgary Flames property, and not a big guy, but wow, is he talented. Sees the ice so well. He's really a magician with the puck. He's worth the price of admission. If you go to the Frozen Four, keep an eye on him.
And he is the guy that Flyers property Shane Gostisbehere from Union, who plays defense, will be matched up against, trying to slow him down in one of the matchups on Thursday.
Yeah, plenty to watch. As the Flyers move the puck up here, Downey. Punch that into the Florida zone. 7:40 remaining in the second period. Panthers have outshot the Flyers 20-18, but the Flyers have 3 in the net. Steve Mason has been perfect at the other end. Here's Simmons jumping on a loose puck, and that shot snared by Ellis. He'll hang on. See a couple go in. Everybody wants to fire now.
That's exactly what the Panthers came out doing in the first period, getting everything on Steve Mason.
Roberto Luongo was scheduled to start this game. In fact, Peter Horacek had said after Luongo missed a couple games with a concussion earlier that he would start all 5 games of this season-ending homestand, but after taking part in the warm-ups, upper body injury kept him out.
Yeah, Dan Ellis had roughly 30 minutes of notice that he would start this game. Of course, sometimes goalies will come in cold if they're replacing somebody with no advance notice other than a hunch.
Sometimes it helps because you don't have time to think about it.
Yep, that's true, Coatsy.
But, you know, Dan Ellis is 33. He's been around a long time. He's been a backup for a long time, so I'm sure this is a situation that he's gone through before. He came here for Tim Thomas at the deadline, as the Panthers ostensibly made room for Roberto Luongo by trading Thomas to the Stars. And Ellis, since arriving here, has not been able to get a win. 0-4. I always want to keep it that way. There's Winchester. And to get that in front, Grossman cuts it off. And Grossman weaving his way out. And then playing it up over the glass and out of play. You probably did not think that was so great.
No, but that was textbook defending. The Flyers were composed in their own end, kept the Panthers on the outside. Nick Grossman intercepted an attempted pass to the front. And a nice easy out. Believe me, for Craig Berube, he wants his guys to stick to a defense-first mentality. And especially in this game, part of the mantra was don't feed the Panthers anything free. Don't turn the puck over. Don't give them any gifts. And the Flyers were doing just that in the first few minutes.
Talk to the defense score, Mark Streit, who is considered an offensive defenseman, but he wants to talk all defense right now. Here's Voracek moving up with Giroux. Voracek got cut off by Campbell. Campbell, right back to Voracek, looking for Giroux again in front. Giroux now hunting the puck down, but Voracek able to play it ahead. Eddie Trocheck across the line. His wrist shot right into the midsection. Mason took a stick from Upshaw, I think. After the whistle at ball and play dead.
Let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross Fearless play of the game. Earlier it was Wayne Simmons right up against the wall. Jesse Winchester, Scotty Upshaw. Oh, did they get him? So now it appears that, yeah, he got the wind knocked out of him. The referee Dave Jackson's taking a look and see, but then all of a sudden Jimmy Croston's over there. Wayne Simmons says, no, I'm okay. I'm going to go right back out there, which he did, and that is why he is our Independence Blue Cross Fearless play of the game.
One of several Flyers. Career highs. And Wayne Simmons 2 goals away from his career high.
Well, anybody that scores power play goals at the rate that Wayne Simmons does doesn't want to miss one. But when you get whacked in the face,
Only 2 players with more than him this year. There's a shot again from well out by Jovanovski, seen all the way by Mason. One of those players with more power play goals than Wayne Simmons is Alexander Ovechkin. He scored his 50th goal tonight. He's still minus something big, but he has 50 goals on the season.
And his team will miss the playoffs.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Not official yet.
So you have to ask yourself what the value of the 50 goals is when your team doesn't make it. It's an interesting debate. You put people in the seats. It's a great marketing tool. Something you can hang your sales hat on. But boy, you miss the playoffs.
They can still catch officially the Flyers until if the Flyers win this game, they can catch Columbus. There's McGinn moving ahead. Bruce Shore will play it up to center ice. Shore sending it in. He's going to chase. Streit gets there at the same time. Winchester joins the scramble. So does Grossman. Now McGinn. Pinched by Roback. The Flyers win that battle. Good support.
So right now, I would much rather have 7 20-goal scorers than 150.
I'm with you. The go-to guy often becomes the eliminated guy come playoff time when the checking gets so tight. That puck skips out of play. We'll step aside. 5:27 to go in the second.
Here's Flyers defenseman Mark Streit. He has been an offensive magician recently, but you might be surprised at what he said when we asked him before the game, what wins this time of year?
Yeah, certainly play good defense and be smart with the puck at the lines, get it in, and just use our speed. I think that makes the difference for us. It's been the key. I think when we played really good as a team, that was our priority, taking care of the puck, make smart decisions, and play really well defensively.
I think you can use this game as Exhibit A, because when the Flyers have had success in this game, it's been when they've been keeping it simple, getting the puck deep, taking care of things in their own zone. They've had sometimes when they've been trying to be too fancy, and the Panthers have ended up with some scoring chances. They've had Steve Mason to take care of things for them on this night, but much rather have it at the other end, doing just as Mark Streit said. Was Coburn a shot? Rebound, they score! Sean Couturier found the loose puck. The first shot was blocked. It bounced to Couturier, and he breaks the 17-game goalless drought. It's 4-0 Philadelphia. Couturier scores for a case of Tasty King.
Couturier deserves something on this play. Matt Reed made a great play to him. Watch this little stutter step, stop, go, whoop, back the other way, turn. He lost Eddie Jovanovski, and then when Braden Coburn's shot deflected, it went right back to Couturier.
No chance here for Dan Ellis as Couturier is set up. Now watch where he is. He's a left-handed shot. So that puck's going to come right onto the stick of Couturier, and bang! Just beats Ellis.
4:57 remaining in the second period as Sean Couturier. 11 goals on the year. Well, here's McDonald, a shot that bounces off of a leg to the corner. So at the beginning of this period, Flyers would love to get Sean Couturier and Claude Giroux goals, and they've got them. There's certain guys you just want to get going as the playoffs approach, and you hope you're part of those playoffs, and the Flyers have gotten goals from both of those guys.
You're creeping me out.
I tend to do that, I guess. There's Raffl backhanding to Wayne Simmons. Back to Raffl, bouncing puck. He's able to get to it and move it into the zone, and he bowls over Roback. They both hit the ice. And Kulikov will play the puck around to the other side.
It's just that you do that often.
I'm sorry.
But it works. It's a positive thing.
Sometimes it goes the other way, though. That's the problem.
Not often.
Here is Streit banking it ahead. He's got Voracek who handles it beautifully. Voracek moving on in. Voracek's pass is broken up.
Yeah, Voracek's already trying to get Giroux the third one.
Yeah, he has been since they got that second one. 3 or 4 passes to Claude in the middle, or at least trying to get it to him there. There's a shot by Winchester, grabbed by Mason, and he'll hang on to it. Reed and Coburn, the assist on that goal by Couturier.
Well, how about getting a jump on the Stanley Cup playoffs? All you have to do is call 215-389-9500 to reserve a suite for a game. Come and experience the electric atmosphere with premium amenities, great food and beverage options, all in your own private setting for up to 24 guests. Try it. You will not like it. You will love it.
Here's Braden Coburn for the Flyers. Cross ice to Kimmo Timonen. That goal by Couturier, his first ever against the Florida Panthers. I said Matt Reed getting an assist. He has 6 goals, and this is only his 9th game against Florida. So Matt Reed has had a lot of success against the team, including a hat trick against them here. Nice building. Coburn shot there. That hit McGinn and bounced to LeCavalier. LeCavalier is checked. Now the puck muscled to the line and then brought back in offside by the Flyers. A tick less than 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Flyers have 8 shots on goal in the second period, and 4 of them have gone in.
That bench is alive. Claude Giroux has been having mini conferences with Scott Hartnell and Jake Voracek, both on the bench. I've been watching them before face-offs. I mean, as soon as Claude Giroux scored, the line, all 3 of them came alive. They're talking the game. They're chatting about it right now on the bench.
Well, that puck ends up out of play. It's amazing how goal scoring does that.
Let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game. 4-0 the score. And watch the left pad of Steve Mason. Right there is Thomas Weissman with an opportunity with the backhand. No! As Mason's just going to go post to post with either pad and comes up with a Hyundai save of the game.
Steve Mason has seen 24 shots. Got them all. Here's Reed getting the puck in front.
And don't underestimate Steve Mason's contribution to this score.
No, 1 point in the second period. Chances were something like 5-2 Florida, and the score was 2-0 Flyers. Flyers have come back to get more chances since. Chances would have been offside there. Flyers have time to move. Oh, Andrew McDonald wiped out right in front of his own net. He's back up, but misses Reed with that pass, so it's icing on Philadelphia. Craig Berube was not a happy man midway through the first period. They're much happier now. You really don't see Chief show a lot of happiness on the bench. I've seen reaction shots of the Flyers bench after game-winning goals in overtime, and it's barely a smile. He just doesn't do a lot of jumping around and for joy back there.
But he's even keel, and I think that level temperament, it's helpful. I mean, he'll get animated in a loud way when he has to, as he did in the first period here. But kind of a steady-as-she-goes approach, the players have really responded to it.
Absolutely. Here's Couturier, nudging the puck deeper into the Florida zone. Jovanovski for Gudbranson, bounces off of him. Hugstad will look to move it up. And he was behind Bergenheim with that pass. Streit has it there. 5 assists in the last 3 games for Mark Streit. He's closing in on a 40-point season. He's at 39 points. Simmons will wind and blast. Save, rebound, and that one stayed out as Raffl took a swing at it. Raffl got it back out in front. Simmons will drop it back to Streit. Streit fakes the shot, gives to Grossman. He'll fire it wide, I think on purpose. And now Simmons.
I don't know.
After it. Well, it was so wide. Branson leaning on Braden Shen. And now Raffl dug it loose again to Simmons and Grossman. That shot on goal, save. Ellis rebound. Braden Shen denied by Ellis. Another rebound, and Ellis kept that one away as Raffl was digging for it. Final minute of the second period. Great pressure from the Flyers. They've taken this game over. And the Panthers will clear it down the ice here. Grossman goes back and gets it. Now he'll twist all the way back behind his net as both teams make player changes. Probably final line changes of this second period. Giroux to Voracek. Full flight to center. Lost control as he got to the Florida line. And the Panthers get it back, and here's Campbell. To Kulikov. Back to Campbell. And he'll just gently play it deep. Kulikov after behind the net. Grossman engulfs him. 14 seconds in the period. Voracek tried to play it back to the point. Hartnell intercepted. Gets to Streit, and he'll push it ahead to Giroux. One last rush for the Flyers. Giroux holding on. In the middle looking for either Hartnell or Voracek. Out of their reach. And as the puck goes to the corner, the horn sounds ending the second period, but a period the Flyers are very happy with. The captain scores twice. Vinny Lecavalier added one. Sean Couturier also a tally. 4-0 Flyers through 40 minutes of play. Tonight's Flyers-Panthers second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit Kia.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $15 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. Let's head downstairs. Coatsy is already chatting with the latest of the 20 goal scorers for the Flyers, Vinny Lecavalier. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. By McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size iced coffee or sweet tea is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Lexus dealer. Big second period for the Flyers as they open this one up, have the 4-goal advantage. There are your numbers brought to you by Sugar House Casino. And the shots even through 2 periods, but 4 of the Flyers have gone in. Faceoffs even as well. The Flyers the only team with power play opportunities thus far. There's your scoring summary, Bill, all orange and black.
And the 0 for 3 on the power play did not come back to haunt the Flyers in that second period at all. All centers. Vinny Lecavalier, Claude Giroux, Sean Couturier. The centers of attention in the scoring sheet.
Vinny Lecavalier got the scoring started. Now the Flyers just need a solid period here in South Florida. And they can claim a playoff spot mathematically. And keep pace with the New York Rangers, who've already won their game tonight. Columbus is now winning their game late. And the Flyers need to win this game. If Columbus were to go on and win that one, and that game will be final before this one, Flyers would have to at least get a point in this game to stay ahead of Columbus. Pushed that one right to the corner. We're waiting for that as Brad Boyes. His centering pass intercepted, and the Flyers will move it ahead. There's Voracek to Braden Coburn joining the rush. Hartnell stick, he'll jam it around, and Jake Voracek with lots of ice room to work with. By the center, goes off the stick, and Boyes will get to it. Boyes missed the last couple games with a back injury after netting his 20th goal of the year. 4th time he's hit the 20-goal mark.
You got to know that one of the things that was said in the Flyers locker room, because it's said by every team when they have a pretty good lead going into a third period, is don't give them any life.
Yeah. Turnovers, penalties. Those are the ways you can give a team life, and the Flyers want to avoid those as we come your way from Sunrise, Florida. That shot rockets high and wide from Kochek. That's a great crew bringing you the Flyers and Panthers wrapping up their season series here. Kochek dropped that one back. Branson flings, and they score! Look out. Branson just flinging that one from the point. It somehow found the net. And the Panthers are on the board. It's 4-1.
But the Flyers giving the Panthers a lot of time to dance with the puck, make some nice moves. Nobody pressured Gudbranson on the shot. Here the Panthers kind of wheeling and dealing. Matt Reed was not in front of Gudbranson, and he threaded the needle.
Just a matter of Gudbranson just getting a shot high, just trying to get it on net. I don't think he ever expected that to happen, but Mason down into the standard butterfly, lots of traffic, had no idea where that puck was.
So, Panthers within 3, and it's a young team, so they're bound to get a lot of momentum from that. And here's Huberdeau in front, point blank, but couldn't get good stick on it. So Simmons moves the other way in the middle, and they turn it over at the line. That's not the kind of turnover that's going to make Craig Berube happy. Here's Huberdeau holding on, fires shot blocked by Streit. Raffl is checked. Schenn, good work there to move the puck out to center ice, trying to get it to Simmons, and does. Simmons back to Raffl. Raffl cross ice, Streit is shot off of Ellis and wide of the net. Loose by Raffl, side of the net. Simmons by the center and went off of a Panther to the side of the net. Now Schenn tried to dig it loose. Huberdeau ridden by Raffl. Schenn in there. Braden Schenn has the puck. Schenn back to the point to his brother Luke. And along for Braden. Off the wall with it. Braden Schenn, the shot just wide. Tried to catch the goalie leaning. He nearly did, but he missed the target. Now Luke Schenn floating that one off the boot of Roback in front. Gotten back by the Flyers. Braden Schenn to Wayne Simmons. Simmons the shot. Save Ellis. Might have been the mask, but he got it done, and the Panthers clear. Flyers right back in, but Raffl at the end of the shift to let that one go.
Oh, what a dominant shift, though, for the
Huge,
Michael Raffl line.
Yeah.
Yep, great pushback.
They turned it over at the beginning of that shift. That shot by Hayes, a juggling save by Mason. And he was able to make the save, and they turned it over early in that shift, Bill, but then came back with a vengeance.
That's the kind of shift you got to have after you get a goal scored on you. You've got to be able to have that pushback like Billy had mentioned and say, okay, boys, you got your goal, but we're going to make sure that we control this hockey game. That was a big shift.
Off the draw, Braden Coburn has the puck. And he turns it over. Stolen by Quentin Houghton, who winds and fires. Save Mason, rebound. It's loose in the crease. No whistle yet. Still no whistle. Where is it? Finally, they blow it dead. Evidently, Mason finally able to gather that puck.
But it was loose, though. Wow.
But Branson's really upset. He says a Flyer player put his hand on the puck. Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay, Bill.
Well, it was a mad scramble, and the puck was definitely loose. You'll be able to see it here. There it is.
Going off a skate. Timonen had his glove down there.
If it's anybody, it was Timonen, right? Well, I'll tell you what, you got Branson's got better eyes than I do because I didn't see it.
Yeah. I think Timonen might have used his glove to bat it back to Mason. Here's a point shot by Kulikov. Hit a body in front. And
that hit Giroux.
That stung Claude Giroux. He is in pain. Claude Giroux is trying to make his way to the bench. He's knocked down again on his way there. And he's struggling to get back up. This is very serious news for the Flyers. Giroux making his way to the bench and making his way down the tunnel toward the locker room. Here is Sean Couturier. Plays it in. Kulikov goes and gets it. Brian Campbell. Right wing feed for Boys. Across and off of Bjugstad, but gathered back by Streit. Punch it back to the Florida line. Downey's after it there. Boys able to move it to Campbell. Right wing feed for Kulikov, and now Bergenheim, and he'll guide it into the Philadelphia zone. Mason has to wait for that to get to the trapezoid, and he did. Now Downey will let Couturier move it up. And the red line will wind it in. Cuts to the corner. Reed strips Roback. And then is run into by Bergenheim. Streit Out to the line, Grossman. He'll fling one, and that's grabbed up high by Ellis, and he'll squeeze it. So concern now for the captain.
Well, we're going to take a look at that shot that appeared to hit Claude Giroux. Giroux was pushed down after losing the faceoff. When the shot came, he put his right hand up to try to protect his face. I don't know if they hit him in the left hand, the right hand, or in the back. But the good news is that he has rejoined the team on the bench.
That is good news. Maybe you see a player head right down the tunnel as Trocheck shot. Save Mason, rebound right out into the slot. And the Flyers able to get a stick on it. Right back out toward the net, off a stick into the corner. Well, the Panthers clearly do have life after that goal. And they've had some shots at making this a 2-goal game. Here's Fleischmann. Put it in, Luke Shen to the puck. Twisting into some trouble, but able to maneuver it out to the neutral zone. Olsen missing Trocheck with that offering, but they wave off icing. Perhaps Trocheck did get his stick on it. We approach the 5-minute mark of this third period. Panthers have gotten one back. It's 4-1. Outlet pass handled by Adam Hall. He push it to himself, deep in the Florida zone from the angle. Roll back, knock that one aside. Huberdeau ahead. Winchester knocked off the puck. Flyers have it back. Strike to LeCavalier. He fumbled it away. Drew short after, but LeCavalier made up for the turnover by knocking the puck away, and he's got it again. The pass makes its way through off Hall's stick. Olsen turning. Again gets to him. Roll back to the puck. In the middle. Drew Shore ahead, hoping for Huberdeau. Huberdeau punches it to the middle. Uses that great speed to get to it, and the shot is scored! First game back after missing 11, and he shows us some of the magic he's capable of. And the Panthers are back in this game. It is 4-2.
And Huberdeau was hanging out in the neutral zone for a puck to come his way, and boy, did he ever use his body to protect the puck once Mark Streit was coming for him.
There's no chance that Streit can make a play because of the body being there. The stick is so far out, and what he does is he's going to go back the opposite way. Mason's going to come from left to right to be able to guard that area, and that puck along the ice, that's a tough play. Huberdeau to get the Panthers within 2, and right there you see Craig Berube, the coach, saying time for a wake-up call. He calls a timeout.
But notice a different demeanor in Berube now than we saw in the first period. He doesn't have to wake his guys up now. He's trying to settle them down. Completely different approach. Steve Mason threw his head back almost in disbelief when Huberdeau scored. I think this went off of Mark Streit's stick. Watch. Right off the toe of Mark Streit's stick. The puck may have been going wide.
You know, Streit just doing whatever he could to break the play up, and that can happen. It's funny, I asked Steve Mason way back early in the season about his theory on defensemen blocking shots, and as most goals will tell you, he said, anywhere from the hash marks out, if you want to let him take it, go ahead. But tough for a defenseman to do that. Your instinct is to block the shot and to use whatever you can to get in the way of it. Here's Giroux. Good to see Giroux back on the ice. To Hartnell for a shot. Hit a body side of the net and bounces to Kulikov. So after the goal and then the timeout, we'll see the response from the Flyers. As Brandon Peary to the Philadelphia line. A drop pass back to Hayes. Big winger will get it to Peary. Pair of former Blackhawk prospects there to Jovanovski. Shot deflected and then blocked in front. Guided by McDonald, but not out of the zone. Jovanovski kept it in not once, but twice. Dug loose by Downey, but he stopped before he could get out of the zone. Finally, McDonald will lob it down the ice. Flyers will change. A lot of hockey left in this one. 13:20 to play in the third. Jovanovski ahead to Boys. Boys will send it in. There's Bukestad around to the other side of the ice. Jabbed that by Coburn. Downey, a nice play to get that to Couturier. He wasn't quite expecting it. Finally does react and now moves up. He'll bunt it deeper into the Florida zone. Olsen there. And move it ahead to Boys. It's an easy out for the Panthers. Cross ice, Bukestad. Trailed some. Now he'll go across ice. Over the rollback. Winds it deep to Philadelphia ice. Mason will stop it, set it up for Timonen. Rams it off the glass, but Bjugstad read it. He steals. Bjugstad centers. It's knocked down by Timonen. We'll try the other side, and there's Reed. Matt Reed, poke check by Roback, goes back to get it. And now it's Coburn. Drilling it. Did Couturier get his stick on it? Yes, he did. So the Flyers will change. And Campbell moves the puck to Trocheck. Vinny Trocheck sends it in and chases. Rides Grossman in. Dug loose by Fleischmann. And a good job by Streit to recover and pick his pocket. Pass in front. Raffle mishandled it. Loose puck right in the slot area. Pulled out of there by Streit. Panther takes his seat. Crowd wants a penalty. At least the Panther fans in the crowd are not going to get it. Behind the net, here's Trocheck. Panthers buzzing a bit here. Trocheck out to the point. That shot blocked as Upshaw took it. He had a chance for it in the slot again. Couldn't get it through. Now Fleischmann a shot. And that one went off of Mason and wide. Flyers are on their heels here. Trocheck run into by Braden Shen. Panthers get the puck again. Move it toward the slot. Finally, it's punched out to center. Simmons trying to catch up to it, but it's Kulikov instead. 8-1 the shots now in favor of Florida. They are charging. Here's Upshaw. Sending it in. McDonald back. Andrew McDonald harassed by Shore. Turns it over on the corner boards as Huberdeau is there. Huberdeau and move around McGinn, but then McGinn recovers to knock it away from him. Kept it at the point momentarily by Goodbranson. And now Huberdeau knocked down again. The crowd wants a penalty. They won't get it. Then McGinn is knocked down. And Dave Jackson and Justin St. Pierre are going to look at that as well and say, play on. Could have called them both. Now they might be in a situation where they almost have to let everything go unless it's a goal-saving kind of situation or a dangerous hit. Here's Goodbranson. And now the cross-ice pass from Winchester to Huberdeau. Huberdeau is stopped just past the line by Luke Shen, who jams it down the ice. Flyers will again change as Brian Campbell is back to get the puck for Florida. Pass to Kulikov. Hartnell gets in his way. Hayes is there to further it into the Philadelphia zone. Mason out. Plays it ahead for Voracek. Voracek tried to head off to Giroux. They missed their connection. And now Howden tumbles to the ice as he pushes it back to his defenseman. Brandon Peary missing Campbell with that pass. Hayes is forced back by Coburn. Kulikov has it back. Spinorama by Campbell. And the veteran defenseman move it up and ahead to Peary. Peary has a 4-game point streak going on. Got that one deep into the zone. Rolls up. Howden after it. Back down low. We passed him in front of the third period. In front was Hayes all alone. Couldn't handle the pass. Voracek the other way. Voracek up the left wing and wind and fire off the post. A rocket from Voracek and it found iron. That would have settled the Flyers for sure. Maybe shut down the Panthers, but it stayed out. Bjugstad in the middle, could not be handled by Boyes. Mason sets it up for Streit. Streit, air underneath that, down the ice it goes. They're going to rule it. No, they're going to wave the icing off at the last moment. Olsen has to play it to Roback. He gets to Bjugstad, who finds Bergenheim. Back to Bjugstad. Nice move and across the line. The shot off the stick and out of play. 9-10 left in the third. It's a 2-goal game.
Flyers are up 4-2 in this one, and don't forget ticket packages for next season are available now. You can secure your seats in advance to get access to great benefits, including tickets to this year's playoffs, as well as discounts only available to Flyers season ticket holders. So call right now.
Now the Flyers, perhaps, this period started, had thoughts of cruising to the win. That save off the mask of Mason. You could hear it from here. Mason, just now getting back up, might have dropped his stick after making that save. He appears to be okay as the puck was into the corner. Those thoughts of cruising, long gone now. Panthers, a young team, and it's coming hard here in this third period. Wojnarowski, rattling for the puck, teaming in. On for Coburn. Takes a hit to make the play to Couturier, and he is checked by Upshaw on the puck into the Philadelphia bench.
You got 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go. Now, you're not here to put on a show for the Florida fans. Just get the puck out. If you got to ice it, so be it. Just those soft dumps into the neutral zone and make the Florida Panthers work to get back, pick it up, and then come again. But do a better job of holding them up as far as their speed in the neutral zone and getting into that offensive zone.
If it was help elsewhere the Flyers were looking for tonight, they didn't get it. The Rangers have already won 4-1 over Carolina. And the Blue Jackets won in overtime. Ryan Johansson, an overtime game winner for the Blue Jackets. As you get a look at the scores, upper right-hand corner of your screen. And the Flyers, as we speak right now, 4 points behind the Rangers. And in a virtual tie with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Raffl kept that puck away from Huberdeau. And at the last second, a penalty was called as Justin St. Pierre went up with the arm. We'll tell you about the penalty when we return. Flyers 4, Panthers 2. Panthers power play coming up. After the post-game show, it'll be Chevrolet Sportsnet Central. Time for a preview back in Philadelphia. Ron Burke and Danny Pomels.
Hey, JJ, this was one of those days when baseball wasn't just a game of brains, but of brawn, literally. Phillies pitchers had no answers for what Ryan Braun was brewing on a day when Boo Birds backfired at the ballpark. We'll have complete coverage of the home opener, including reports from Citizens Bank Park.
Also, you may not know what Nerlens Noel even sounds like because he's been a man of mystery in his first season with the Sixers, but the rehabbing big fella did speak today, and we finally learned what he meant when he tweeted 4-4-14 a few months back. And, of course, we'll see where the Flyers stand among the teams jockeying for playoff position. That's later on Sportsnet Central. Right now, we go back to JJ, Bill, and Coach in South Florida.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Off the draw, the Flyers play the puck in on their own net, and Mason had to be alert to make the save. The Panthers on the power play, courtesy of a Michael Raffl high-sticking penalty. Raffl actually laying on the ice or heading toward there when his stick came up and caught a Panther. And so the Panthers with their first man advantage. You saw the numbers. They had the worst power play in the NHL. The Flyers, very good penalty kill. Flyers need those trends to continue, but the Panthers are set up. Here's Campbell. Now behind all the way to Peary. And Peary will set it up and get it back out to Fleischmann. And now it's Campbell. To Fleischmann. Cross ice, Peary. Now Fleischmann again. He'll wind up fire. Mason takes a peek, but he's got it.
Boy,
no further play.
Boy, did he do a great job of being able to fish that puck as that was cooking from the point. And he had a lot of traffic. He had some big boys right in front of him, including Hayes. But this shot is going to be cooking. And once again, the glove, we've seen it a lot. Mason with that glove save once again.
Matt Reed had a chance to block it, but didn't get his shin pads lined up perfectly. And missed him.
Nick Grossman trying to clear, but Kulikov will keep that in. Upshaw trying to spoil things for his former club. Got that puck to Huberdeau. He was checked in a diving attempt, and it cleared. Great work by Adam Hall. Now Giroux gets to the puck first. Claude Giroux. Now just trying to waste time off the clock. Finally, the Panthers get the puck away from him. And Kulikov will look to start back up, but good work by the penalty kill there. 43 seconds remaining. In the Florida man advantage, Kulikov in across the line. Off to Bjugstad, he wraps it around. Upshaw right back to the center iceman. He'll bank it to Kulikov. Now Bjugstad. Holding on, guarding the puck. Behind the net. Huberdeau, he's dangerous here. He'll get it back out. Kulikov shot! Save Mason as it made its way through traffic. And he'll squeeze it.
Steve Mason, who made sure Florida did not get on the board early in this game when the Panthers were pressing the Flyers in the first period, is again doing some important things here by making big saves when the Panthers are trying to draw to within one, and that was a screen as well. Claude Giroux out on this penalty kill because Michael Raffl is in the penalty box.
Well, Mason was good early. He's been good late. 12-1 the shot count now here in the third period in favor of the Panthers. Panthers actually now +2 on the season in the third period after being -70, actually -74 in the first two, including tonight's game. So they are a team that clearly has been behind a lot, Bill, and they don't give up on the game. And it's shown here. The Flyers, of course, started the year a team that struggled in the third, then were magicians in the third for about a 3.5 to 4 month stretch, but of late have struggled again in the third period. They've been outscored now 8-1 in their last 4 third periods. There's Reed with good work, knocking down that puck in center, and that does it for the Florida power play. The Flyers are offside, but out of the box jumps Raffl. The Flyers have killed 20 consecutive road power plays against now, and they keep this a 2-goal game.
Some excellent work, including saves from Steve Mason. Good play by Matt Reed. A good clear by Adam Hall. Still all hands on deck. 6:01 to go in a 2-goal game. Looked like it was going to be an easy game to win when the Flyers went up 4-0, but the Panthers came back and decided to put their little imprint on this game, and they're doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Oh, they are working very hard right there. Didn't look like they had any chance of getting into the forecheck. They nearly got the puck back, but now the Flyers break out. 3-on-2. The pass to McDonald joining the rush. McDonald holds onto it, back out, shot. Luke Schenn sticked away, and it did stay in play all the way out to center ice, where Voracek goes cross ice to Luke Schenn with Brad Boyes looking to knock that down and break in on goal. Now the Panthers have it. Campbell. Back to Jovanovski. Jovanovski now 37 years of age. Going to play at least another year. There's to Howden. Howden will move it into the Philadelphia zone. Lean on Nick Grossman. Mark Streit ahead. And Lecavalier moving up. He's got plenty of help. The pass to McGinn. McGinn holds, fires, and it takes off. Stays in. No, it did not stay in play. The whistle was delayed, but it evidently caught the safety netting. We'll be back. Tonight's Flyers-Panthers game is brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. BB&T Center, the site of this match between the Flyers and the Panthers. Flyers open up a 4-0 lead. Panthers have cut it in half here in the third period. 4:58 remaining. The Flyers need a victory of any kind here tonight to clinch a playoff spot. Here's Lecavalier. In front, they score! Time again! Got it in front! And the Flyers back up by 3, 5-2. They score for a case of tasty cake. And some relief, although there's still 4:54 to play.
No, some breathing room without a doubt, and Vinny Lecavalier has been a leader in this game. Scored his 20th goal earlier, and now he gets 21.
You know what?
McGinn was there, but it never got to him.
No, it was Lecavalier right here. He'll just actually shuffle it right up underneath. No, and take a look at it. It could be McGinn. It doesn't really matter.
Jovanovski and McGinn are there. Jovanovski's stick went toward the net, and McGinn's reaction almost would lead you to believe that he didn't get the goal. And maybe McGinn was just saying, that was a great setup, Vinny.
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to point to you.
It's McGinn gets the goal, but a little drama before that, but this would pretty well tell the Flyers that at least they hung in there and did a good job.
No doubt, and there was great jump off the faceoff. I mean, Vinny Lecavalier ended up with possession of the puck and knew he had McGinn if he could get the puck to him. And Ty McGinn was really animated after the faceoff happened and went to the spot on the far side of the net. He knew exactly where to go.
And you won't see a guy scoring a goal for the first time in quite some time, and Ty McGinn. And for that little reaction, there's a save by Mason off of Bjugstad as the Panthers just keep coming. But I think he was just doing that in respect to Lecavalier, who had such a great setup on that play. And it was a slam dunk for Ty McGinn. Jovanovski's stick was in there, but it was McGinn's goal. And Bergenheim will get that puck into the Philadelphia zone. Lecavalier and Hall with the assist as the fourth line for the Flyers, contributing 2 more goals to the total here tonight. And now down to 3.5 minutes remaining right now in this third period. Reed will send it in. Almost feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in the booth from that Flyer bench.
No question. But at the same time, the Flyers, after going through that goal-scoring drought, for a few games. They knew the schedule was going to get a bit easier, so they had Buffalo on Sunday. They got Florida tonight, and they just piled up numbers.
Turn it over here. The Imperi's shot had to be handled by Mason, and he does just that.
Let's take a look at a Toyota turning point, and this comes in the second period. LeCavier had already given the Flyers a 1-0 lead, but then comes Claude Giroux. First of all, you don't want to give Giroux the blue line, and that's what Jovanovski did. Bang, wrist shot, and beats Ellis to make the score 2-0. And then it's Giroux once again. He'll be the trailer. Watch him just jump right into the slot area. He's going to follow up the play, get the great pass from straight, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-0 hockey game, and that's our Toyota turning point of tonight's game.
Flyers clear the zone. Ryan Campbell is on it, and he'll get it in. Giroux back. Passed by Bruce Shore. More than a couple of scary moments injury-wise for the Flyers in this game. Andrew McDonald, Wayne Simmons, and Claude Giroux have all gone down at certain points in this game to need some attention, but have all returned to the game. Campbell trying to center that. Bounces out in front. Coburn and Shore come together. Now it's dumped into the Florida zone as both teams are changing. 2:15. And the third period clock is Upshaw. It's a beeline for the Flyers zone. The backhander stopped by Mason. Back around the other side. Mason sprawls across to stop Trocheck. Turning and firing is Upshaw. Save Mason. Rebound Trocheck. Shot stopped again by Mason. As McDonald's lost his ticket, it's a firing squad right now. Upshaw, backhander, that's blocked off. Flyers need a clear. Here's Strike, and he'll move it ahead. Cavalier to the line, and he'll backhand in. 40 shots now for the Panthers. Backhanded by Cavalier out in front. A whack at it by Adam Hall, and that stays out. There's fourth line. Has certainly contributed to the cause for the Flyers.
Well, and if there was any question about the Flyers being 4 lines deep, and Coachy brought this up earlier, the fourth line now can score and put up numbers. So that to me is when you're really 4 lines deep, when you've got 4 lines that can generate offense.
Reed will send it ahead. Jammed out to center by Couturier. Down to 70 seconds remaining in this one. Over the roll back. We'll move it ahead. Bergenheim will send it into the Philadelphia zone. Luke Shen will retrieve. Through some broken stick in the corner. We'll get up the boards. Out to the point of goal. Goes from the cross. That shot gets off the glass from Roback. And now it's pushed ahead by Couturier, and Reed will move it to center. Matt Reed shipping it in. Reed taking it to the corner. And the McDonald's post-game shows is a steal by Reed. Got it in front for Couturier. Back out to Strike for a shot that's blocked. McDonald's post-game show will get plenty of reaction down in the Flyers locker room as players will talk. We'll hear from Craig Berube. Oakley and Bill Clement will be all over it. John Bork and Morganti back in the studio. 12 seconds remain. The chip pass in the middle. The pass now for Hall. He jammed it just wide. Into the corner they go. They battle for the puck. 2 seconds, 1. And this one is over. And for the 17th time in the last 19 seasons, the Philadelphia Flyers are headed to the postseason. 37th time in franchise history, and who would have thought that when you think back to where this club was at in early November.
There were so many people that had the toe tags ready to put on the Flyers to wheel them into the hockey morgue when they only won one of their first 8 games.
Mason ties his career high. Claude Giroux snaps out of a mini funk with a couple of goals. He's our Bud Light player of the game.
Yeah, no question there. Claude Giroux hadn't scored in 5 games. His line hadn't scored in 5 games. He led by example, not with 1 but 2 goals. When the Flyers exploded in the second period, he was the guy that put up half of that explosion, scoring 2 of the 4. So our Bud Light player of the game, Claude Giroux.
So the Flyers now over the last 2 decades, only the Detroit Red Wings have seen more playoff hockey in terms of per year than the Philadelphia Flyers. Plenty coming up in the post-game show. Flyers still have work to do as they try to finish higher in the Eastern Conference standings. They'll take on the Lightning. Thursday night our coverage begins with a pregame show at 7 o'clock. Here tonight, the mission was to get 2 points and clinch a playoff berth. Mission accomplished. 5-2 the final. For the entire crew, as well as my partners Bill Clement and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good night for now. The BB&T Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers Post Game Live presented by McDonald's.